Hello and happy Thanksgiving from those of us here at the Sports and Songs studio who are working today, unlike Dan, who's quote, quote, on assignment. Whatever. All right. Album review. That means it's up to me. You know you're in for a treat now, and Andy's at the controls for the album review. This is Season 7, Episode 3 of the Songs Edition, Sports and Songs podcast. We are here to educate. And when you think Thanksgiving and you think albums, nothing comes to mind. When you think Thanksgiving, you think a little bit WWE or WWF back in the day. And you think the Piledriver album, the Wrestling Album 2, Piledriver. That's our album of the week right there today. Was released September 21st, 1987. Recorded at the Platinum Island Recording Studios, the Hit Factory. The music had a lot of different genres on it, so it was considered pop rock, heavy metal, funk, and country. Epic was the label company on it. Producers Jim Johnston and Rick Derringer. Jim Johnston did a lot of the WWE music. A lot of WWF music was Jim Johnston on the theme songs. And Rick Derringer, of course, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. And David Wolf was also involved in the producing. The Piledriver, the Wrestling Album 2, is the second soundtrack album released by the World Wrestling Federation. It was released September 21st of 87 on Epic Records. It featured additional vocal performances from several of the wrestlers themselves, which kind of made it kind of cool, kind of spread it all out. A lot of the guys did their own singing, and these were their entrance songs for a few years afterwards. The original vinyl LP release of Piledriver featured the headshot of Hulk Hogan wearing a construction hard hat on the front cover. This is the only WWF WWE album to have not been sold or not been released on CD. So if anyone says they have the CD, they're lying to you. In addition to the album, a VHS video version was also issued in 87 on Coliseum Video. This tape featured music videos for 8 of the songs on the album. The songs Crank It Up and Waking Up Alone did not have music videos on them. Yes, I owned the videotape at one time. Several of the songs on the album were used as entrance themes for the wrestlers. Strikeforce used an instrumental version of Girls and Cars until the split in 89. Coco Beware used Piledriver into 1990. Honky Tonk Man used his self-titled track for the majority of his career. Demolition also used for their team until the late 1990. Jive So Bro was used as a theme for Slick and several of his wrestlers until 1990. And Crank It Up was used as a tag team for the Young Stallions. A storyline was created in which Jimmy Hart wanted to use the song for the Hart Foundation, but the Stallions stole it. Here is the said track listing for this incredible album. Girls and Cars, written by Jim Johnston. Robbie Dupree and Strikeforce were the singers on that one. Piledriver. McDonald and Johnston were the writers. Coco Beware did the singing on that one. Honky Tonk Man, J.J. McGuire and Jimmy Hart with Honky Tonk Man singing. Coming up on our episode for our community college, Jimmy Hart, manager for the wrestlers. Before that was a great musician, had great music ties also. So it'll be a Sports and Songs collaboration coming up after the first year on Jimmy Hart. Demolition, Rick Derringer wrote that as performed by Rick Derringer did this performing on that one. Jive So Bro, written by Bellator, Taylor, and David Wolf, and Slick did the singing on that one. Crank It Up, McGuire and Hart did the writing. Jimmy Hart did the singing. Wake It Up Alone, McDonald and Johnston. Hillbilly Jim is the artist on that one. Stand Back by Johnston. Vince McMahon did the singing on that one. Vince McMahon had a lot of music love in his heart. That's why he did these albums at the time. Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, of course, written by Rick Derringer, performed by Rick Derringer and Mean Gene Okerlund. That alone is worth buying the album and the video of seeing that. And If You Only Knew by Johnston, performed by the WWF Superstars. Just a couple notes on here. J.J. McGuire, 80s and 90s wrestling theme song master. He is credited. You heard his name a lot writing these songs. He is credited with over 100 wrestling themes in the WF and WCW in the 80s and 90s, including themes to the Legion of Doom, What a Rush, Shawn Michaels' Sexy Boy, and Demolition, and The $1 Million Man. Yes, Piledriver, the wrestling album 2, was certified gold. The album also had songs nominated for awards at the 1987 Slammy Awards. So Slammy is a WWF Awards. None of their songs were up for Grammy, but the album did go gold. Gold certification album achieved that, which was proudly displayed by performer Coco Beware. One source indicates that was due to Canadian sales. You see a lot of videos of Coco Beware if he's doing a Zoom interview and he's in his office. He's got his gold record behind him. Slammy Awards, several songs from the album were nominated for Song of the Year at the second annual Slammy Awards in 87, including the title track Piledriver, performed by Coco Beware, and Girls and Cars. However, the envelope was reportedly eaten by wrestler Sika, so no official winner was ever announced in that category. Chart performances, the album itself did not chart as high as its predecessor, the wrestling album, which reached a peak of 84 on the album top 200 charts. That is the wrestling album 2, Piledriver. It is not a joke album by any means. I don't think so. There was some real good songs on there. Rick Derringer, a notable artist. Johnston, JJ. They took their craft seriously. Jimmy Hart took it seriously. Girls and Cars is a good song. It's a decent song. That's really the ones that went decent, I guess. The rest of it's kind of fun songs. Girls and Cars, kind of a fun song. Good song. Piledriver, it's a fun song. Demolition is a fun. Jive Slow Bro, fun song. They're all fun. If you like wrestling, you're going to like the album. Give it a listen. Something a little different. I don't want to say you have to be in a silly mood. You have to be in the wrestling frame of mind to listen to the album. You can't just go, oh, wrestling album 2. Let's play this. No. You got to kind of be in that. I want to watch wrestling. I'm talking wrestling. I just saw wrestling. Wrestling's on your brain to listen to it, to really appreciate it and understand it. But give it a listen. Give it a check. Let me know what you think. Comments below. Please be decent. Be nice. Be nice. This is Andy for Sports and Songs. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Please like, share, and subscribe.